Bueckers and the Dallas Wings are taking on the Seattle Storm. They are taking on the Seattle Storm, and it's a big one. This is a big game right here because we can see which of these teams are both of these teams as garbage as we think. Did the Storm just have a bad game, or is Paige what we think she is? But at the same time, like, the Storm might be one of the worst second games for Paige Bueckers because of who the Storm's backcourt is. The Storm are going to start almost certainly one of Skylar Diggins or Gabby Williams on her. Gabby Williams, again, UConn alum, but they want to stop Paige Bueckers. This is a team that just got blitzed by Catherine Westbeld. This is a team who started Catherine Westbeld. This is a team who has a player who graduated from Notre Dame in 2018. So would have played against, who was on the team, the Notre Dame team, when they beat UConn with Gabby Williams. They lost in embarrassing fashion. In absolutely embarrassing fashion. And the Dallas Wings have they've got to figure something out. Because if you are Seattle, like, everybody, and that includes me, by the way, has basically saying Seattle's done. Because they're old. They're old and slow. Like, it's as simple as that. They're old and slow. But the Dallas Wings, you're looking at this team and it's like, Arike is coming up. If I would assume they're going to put Gabby Williams on Arike and Skylar Diggins on Paige. Because I think I think Skylar Diggins has that ability to just be enough of a pest on Paige that it can take her completely out of her game. I think Skylar Diggins might take Paige 3/4 court. Because the way a lot of people are saying, the WNBA teams are going to they're gonna make it easy for Paige. Skylar Diggins isn't. Like, if you think that Skylar Diggins is going to take it easy on Paige, then like, you don't know who Skylar Diggins is. Like, genuinely, you don't know who she is. Ezi Magbagor is going to completely physically dominate on the inside in this game. And it's going to really come down. Can Paige do it? Because the Seattle Storm are going to want to not only beat the Wings, they're going to want to destroy the Wings today. And they're coming off a horrendous game. The Wings are coming off a horrendous game too. The difference is Tiara McCown stormed off during the game. The Wings played with no energy whatsoever. The Wings barely ran back on defense. The Wings employ Nalissa Smith on the defensive end. The Wings employ Tiara McCown on the defensive end. The Wings should not be reliant on Maddie Seegers to guard. Dejanay, like, say what you want about Dejanay. Dejanay is as good as it gets at her role. Dejanay is as good as it gets. Like, as far as Maisha Hines-Allen is very solid. Segrist, but it's going to come down to what Paige can do. Like, if Paige Bueckers drops another mid, if she drops mid again, like, what happens to this Rookie of the Year vote? Like, Paige, she doesn't have to drop 20. She doesn't even have to drop 15. But she has to look like one of the two best players on her team. Like, she has to at least take an assignment. Like, she can't just sit there and guard Alicia Clark. She can't just sit there, guard Alicia Clark, and have a 10-point game, have a 10-point special, while also taking the easiest assignment on the other team. She can't have a game where she dribbles the ball up the floor, passes to the wing, and then doesn't get it back. Like, I didn't mind the second half from Paige. Ironically, she barely scored, but she at least was aggressive. She was at least aggressive, and you cannot be passive playing against Skylar Diggins. Like, Skylar Diggins is going to want to Like, she is as competitive as it gets as far as these players are concerned. Like, we saw, at times, we saw bench players taking on the assignment of Paige Bueckers from the Minnesota Lynx. Skylar Diggins is going to try not let Paige dribble past the halfway line. Like, we saw what Diggins did against Clark last year. And there were players that full court press Clark last year that you know aren't going to do it. Like, there are coaches. Coaches will not tactically three-quarter court, full court press, or three-quarter court press Paige. Skylar Diggins individually is going to do it. Like, Skylar Diggins is that much of a fiery competitor. But this is where we see what Paige is made of in this game. The Minnesota Lynx, its first game, there's jitters. And this is where you see what she can do. Especially because of those two rookies in Washington. Those two rookies in Washington. I was wrong with Citron. I was so wrong with Kiki Iriafen. Like, I've been so wrong with Kiki. But, like, if it turns out that the Rookie of the Year race is between two players on the same team, and Paige is out of the Rookie of the Year race, despite being 2 years older than both Kiki and Sonia Citron, we start to have some really uncomfortable conversations. Like, Paige has got to be an all-star this year. Otherwise, it's going to start some very uncomfortable conversations about Paige Bueckers. And again, 2 games is just too small a sample size to use. But there were not even, like, flashes in that game. And even if there was, the passiveness is something that we saw at times. We saw less of it in the second half when she missed 6 shots in a row. But again, I would rather see Paige. The problem is that Paige, a lot of the time, everything is about efficiency. I would rather see aggressive inefficiency than passive efficiency. Ideally, if you can be aggressive and efficient at the same time, unbelievable. It's very hard to be aggressive and efficient at the same time. But I have a really bad feeling Paige was inefficient in the last game. 1-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, that she's going to not try to do anything today. And I would be very, very worried about that if I was Wings fan. I'd be very worried about that if I was a Paige fan. And I really do hope that she cooks tonight. I really do. Because their next game is against Minnesota. And if you if it turns out coming into this season that Paige is the 3rd, 4th best player, it's bad for ball. It's bad for ball. Like, it is legitimately good for the sport of basketball. It's good for the sport of basketball that Paige Bueckers is good because of how big of a name she is. It is good for basketball that Paige is good. And the real question is like, will she be as advertised? But anyway, yeah, that is it. I will see you guys.